Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hey Teddy, have you noticed how little attention science and health issues get in the media?
Totally, Edgar, yet science information is very important.
Yeah, for sure. That's why the Health Journalists Network is here.
How can they help?
They are a group of journalists dedicated to advancing public understanding of healthcare issues through impactful reporting on health and science.
Oh, really?
Yes, they meet up every month with scientists and researchers, policymakers, and activists at the science media cafes. They then relay what they discuss to the public.
Does that benefit us?
Oh yes, very much so. This helps with health and science literacy for a healthy Ugandan society.
Okay. I love getting informed about science and health issues. Health information makes all the difference between life and death. I'll look them up and engage them.
That's great. They are based all over the country.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, and they should be making real impact.
They are empowering health communities through journalism. Journalists can save lives just like doctors.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
It is the 16th day of December 2025. Thank you so much for being part of us once again. It is a fresh day here and we are coming to you live from Uganda's capital, Kampala. This is the Alternative Dig Talk TV, Africa's leading online platform that is trusted for bringing matters of national importance and bringing that information in an accurate and unbiased way. My name is Keneth Rubatsimbira Rwemirembe, and we are welcoming you to the Mighty Global News Updates. This show, or this segment runs Monday to Friday in this entire show of the Mighty Drive. The Mighty Drive runs Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. To 10 a.m. And we always discuss matters of national importance, especially to you who's watching us for the very first time. And I remind you that you are tuning into the best platform. You are in the right place. Feel free to tap that subscribe button, especially if you love matters of national importance or you love a news that is unbiased. We have a lot of stories today, this morning here. Depending on the time you'll be watching this show, a lot of stories have been shaping conversations here in our country, Uganda, some good and others bad. But of course, we have to bring to you the right information after making some thorough research to find out the real truth behind this. If you have not yet subscribed to this mighty platform, please hurry and join millions of people that trust this platform. We can be found across all social media platforms, and our social media handle is at the Alternative Dig Talk TV or the Alternative Dig Talk. That's on YouTube and Facebook. You can always follow some shorter clips of our conversations on TikTok at Dig Talk TV or even at Mukose Arnold Anthony. You can access all our information, and our main platform where we stream live is Facebook and YouTube. By tuning in, you're contributing to that great future for this country, Uganda, and the entire continent, because our conversations are not specifically or only limited to Uganda, but the importance and the positive change we want to see with you is for the good of all of us, all continents and planets. Now, the stories this morning. Yesterday, Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu visited Bulange Mengo and had a meeting with the Katikkiro. Of course, Honorable Kyagulanyi was accompanied by other top officials in the National Unity Platform. And while heading to that particular area, of course, police tried to block and so refuse some people from joining others at Bulange Mengo. Police was trying to reduce the number of people that were following Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi, something that irritated the NUP camp. We had even in his speech, Robert Kyagulanyi and even the leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, they were condemning this, saying that this was unfair, that some of their fellows had been beaten up while heading to Bulange Mengo, something that they are not happy is happening in this country. Of course, in his speech, Honorable Kyagulanyi talked about the injustices that are being done, especially on the opposition, and he thanked the Premier of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, for always speaking for the oppressed, being that voice for the oppressed people, and for not keeping quiet whenever anything goes wrong. He thanked him for the great work he has done for Buganda, including the recent works of the Kasubi tombs, which were finalized now and ready for tourists and every individual who would wish to come and visit those places. Honorable Kyagulanyi and the NUP team thanked the Premier for being a hard worker and contributing towards the great development of Buganda. He continued the call against injustices, saying that Buganda should continue helping and being the voice for the voiceless for all Ugandans, not only here in Buganda. In his speech, the Premier said that Buganda is a home for every individual, for every person, and Buganda welcomes every individual, so they are non-partisan. They welcome everybody with the same love, and that no one is bigger than the other before Buganda, that all the people are the people of the king or Kabaka, and the Kabaka loves them equally. And he also talked about the injustices that are happening. He talked of some of the conduct by the police, where he said that sometimes the police has been using extreme force against the nationals, calling upon peace in these election campaigns. The Premier, Charles Peter Mayiga, said that all the force that is being used on the nationals should at least be reserved. That energy should be reserved for the external enemies who want to disrupt peace in our country, Uganda, even harm Ugandans. But that force and that energy should not be targeted at the very nationals, or something he says is really unfair and looks awkward. And that was the meeting there. But before this outside meeting, Honorable Kyagulanyi and a few individuals had an indoor meeting with the Katikkiro for around 40 minutes. And of course, it was a private meeting. No journalist was allowed in there. So Honorable Kyagulanyi and his team had gone there to talk about how they have experienced this campaign period, how the environment is, and to report to Buganda the next step and what they are ready and willing to do. That is it from the National Unity Platform camp that was at Bulange Mengo, and had that meeting with the Premier of Uganda, Charles Peter Mayiga. Now in our other news, the NRM youth in Luwelo are asking for financial support to conduct the mobilization. These youth had agreed to seek support and mobilize for the national resistance movement and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as well, but they are complaining that they are not receiving the money they want. The NRM had agreed to form a group of 30 people in every village, with each individual required to bring in 5 new supporters to the NRM and to President Museveni, something that they thought would bring much support and make President Museveni win once again in these 2026 general elections. Several camps have been here and there seeking for support for the president and for the national resistance movement, and now some youth are complaining, especially in the areas of Luwelo, that they are not receiving the money to do this. They are being sent into the battlefield without being armed properly, something they say puts them at risk, or even not to generate what they are supposed to generate in terms of support. They are calling upon the NRM to fund these campaigns. Meanwhile, President Museveni is Here and there, traversing the country seeking for support. Yesterday was in Kuvumirira and Mubende, and thousands of people were there to welcome him, everyone praising the work he has done for this country. And of course, he promised them that Uganda is yet to become a middle-income state. They should vote the National Resistance Movement. They should vote President Museveni for a better Uganda, and that they should protect the gains they have achieved so far. And the people, of course, welcomed him warmly, saying Kasambia and Mubende areas are the very people where they took the first step to take over this country, especially firing the first bullet at Kabamba Barracks, which is in those areas over there, and they promised to support the National Resistance Movement and vote President Yoweri Museveni into the office. He has been in for now close to 40 years, and he still promises to better everything and make Uganda enjoyable for every individual. Now, away from that, Honorable Mpuuga, who is the leader of the Democratic Front, yesterday was also in the areas of Nyendo, Mukungwe, Masaka, where he is contesting for Member of Parliament. And he asked the people to vote him, of course, as the Member of Parliament, to vote all the members of the Democratic Front, saying that they have a good agenda for this country. They are the right people to trust with the leadership. And he also condemned the acts being done by the police, especially by disrupting campaigns for the opposition people, or especially now the camp of Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. He condemned those acts where the police is beating up people, and he also commented on this issue that has been trending, the issue of the arrest of Reverend Father Deusdedit Ssekabira, who was arrested 3 weeks ago following a report now from the UPDF that they had arrested him over charges of involvement in violent, subversive activities against the state. Honorable Mpuuga said Reverend Father Deusdedit Ssekabira was not supposed to be arrested in such a manner, and that was the worst humiliation, that that process would have been done in a proper way, that they should have contacted maybe the bishop, and through the bishop they could summon Reverend Father Ssekabira instead of just taking him away like that. He condemned those acts and called upon all nationals to resist the actions being done in such a manner where people are being abducted, people go missing, and that we hear about them when at least some good time has passed. Now that is the incident over there. The incident of Reverend Father Deusdedit Ssekabira has been hitting headlines here and there, many questioning what next, if even the religious leaders can be arrested in such a manner that we have known to be for politicians here in the country, Uganda. But of course, the UPDF said he was arrested properly following the law, and that was it over there. But the camp of the Democratic Front condemned these acts and said this shouldn't be happening in this country, Uganda, and that in no time, or in the shortest time possible, the Democratic Front will continue to fight for justice for every individual here in our country, Uganda. That is it from Masaka there, and Honorable Mpuuga Nsamba. Now, away from that, the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited has been facing criticism here and there, especially online, people making memes out of now EDCLO saying that power is on and off. Power instability has been a very concerning issue for every individual. Many complaining and reporting losses, especially the business owners, saying that they are incurring losses because of unstable power that is on and off, and have been criticizing the UEDCL for not doing their work in the right way. People have been really bitter about UEDCL and have been complaining for power shortages and disruptions. But now the UEDCL has received over $50 million from Absa Bank, and they have promised to now better these services and make sure they upgrade the country's electricity distribution network. And they are saying that they are to establish 8 substations, and these will help in keeping the power stable, and they will even invest in new and developed technologies to make sure that problem of power instability is solved for once and for all. However, they promise that that will take close to 5 years, or even 5 full years to make sure it is solved completely. Many people have not been happy about the period, saying that it is already bad that power is on and off here in the country, Uganda, and that it should be done in the shortest time possible. But the report, and according to the executive director of UEDCL, Paul Mpuuga, said in 5 years this problem will be no more, and people will be enjoying better services from Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited. Back to the 2026 general elections. Honorable Nathan Nandala-Mafabi, who is the presidential flag bearer for the Forum for Democratic Change, yesterday was in the areas of Mbarara and Diantonde. While heading to Mbarara city for crossing from Kakoba now to Mbarara, he was disrupted by police. Police tried to block him, and there was some chaos there. The supporters trying to fight with the police here and there, and there was a lot of force. And somehow they managed to enter Mbarara by force, but wherever they could reach, the security people were there. They were moving amid tight security, supporters trying to follow, and there was pulling ropes here and there. But finally, Honorable Nathan Nandala-Mafabi had to speak to his people by the roadside, something that was condemned by the Electoral Commission some time back, saying that no candidate is allowed to conduct their campaigns along the road or by the roadside in order not to disrupt the freedoms of other road users. However, Honorable Nathan Nandala-Mafabi said this was the last resort. The police and other security agencies had blocked everything they had to do, had blocked them from talking to their people, and now they were left with only that opportunity to speak to their supporters by the roadside. And he also said that they conducted it in the right way. They were by the roadside, they left the required space for other road users to continue using the roads without disrupting traffic, and that they followed everything, and everything was done under the law or as guided by the law. They never disrupted peace. They did everything peacefully. But that is it. The police has been finding hard time with, especially now, the opposition candidates in these campaign trails. Some actually being beaten up, like we saw recently. The NUP team was beaten up, and now the police says these opposition candidates are doing things that are not required under the law, and that these things should be stopped. The opposition says they are doing everything as the law requires, and they are law-abiding candidates, but the police is partisan. Confusion here and there, clashes coming in, but the security personnel and the Electoral Commission have been warning these candidates to avoid carrying out processions, especially those processions that block the roads and now limit the freedoms of other road users. That is the 2026 general elections for you, the election, and we do urge you to turn up in large numbers and vote when that time comes. January 15th is just near, and we are now almost ending this 2025, heading into this 2026, where we'll be choosing the right leaders for this country. We do urge you to vote wisely. Do not vote because they have given you a gift or something. Vote because the candidate you're voting can bring that positive change you want to see in society. Digitalk TV will never tell you who to vote, but we will always guide you on who to vote, especially what you should look for in a leader. And that's why we bring in several people here to discuss matters of national importance, people who could be having some knowledge about other things, such that you have the right information to make an informed decision. Keneth Rubatsimbira Rwemirembe is my name, and this has been the Mighty Global News Updates. The Mighty Drive continues. Good morning for now.
Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.